Hey Pisces, welcome to your Imposter Syndrome reading. If you're feeling a little bit off balance, unsure about yourself, your role, your path in life, keep watching because we're going to try and get to the bottom of it and find you a little bit of a solution. So we're going to start first by pulling a couple of oracle cards just to see what energy is surrounding you for this reading. And the first card that we have for you is Green Tara. Start delegating. Ask others, including me, to help you instead of trying to do everything yourself. Let's pull another and see what other energies are surrounding my Pisces collective for this reading. What else is happening with my Pisces collective? And we have Father Sky, trust in the unknown. So what I'm feeling off the bat, Pisces, is that you have Superman or Superwoman syndrome. That you are everything to everybody, and that's sort of the role that you have embraced, for lack of a better word. I don't know that that's necessarily the case right now. It actually feels as though there's a little bit of resentment that's brewing up, where it's like you're the go-to for everybody and their issues. Like you have just absolutely become the emotional dumping ground for everybody around you. And so it almost feels as though there's a desire for you to say, you know what, hey, I can't do all of this by myself. I can't be everything to everybody. I'm going to need you all to start picking up some slack. And it feels as though you haven't necessarily verbalized those concerns, that because you maybe feel like people will turn their backs on you, or they'll start treating you differently, or you'll lose friends or family members. But I think that in this particular case, it's important for you to use your voice. And whatever the blowback is, it doesn't seem like it's going to necessarily be as bad as you imagine that it will be. I think that there are people who are going to be surprised that you're feeling a little bit overwhelmed, that you're feeling a little bit put upon. And so there's this sense like, well, we didn't know. Why didn't you say anything earlier? And you're like, because, y'all would have rebelled. Y'all would have acted, X, Y, and Z way. And they're like, no, if we'd have known, then we'd have helped you out. So I think that because this is new to you, sort of admitting that you don't have all the answers and you can't do everything for everybody, it's a little bit different. But I think that it's worth having that conversation with the people around you. So let's get into some tarot and first start by looking at why you sort of feel this way. We have the Fool in reverse. There's a feeling of being stuck. Like the Fool has a very lighthearted and carefree energy. They go through life without a lot of baggage. They don't sort of absorb any energy, one way or the other. And they have this trust that as they move through life, that the universe is going to guide them, their intuition is going to guide them, and their next steps are going to be fine. It feels like for my Pisces out there that you all are not able to sort of take that step because you're still weighed down. You're so burdened with other people's issues, other people's expectations that you just can't move. And we have that clarified by the Five of Swords. So I think that, again, there's that underlying fear that if you start telling people that you can't help them or that you can't be there for them in the way that they've come to expect, that there is going to be conflict. And I think that for a lot of my Pisces out there, you're pretty conflict avoidant. So it's like, I don't want to do anything to rock this boat, but Jesus Christ, I feel absolutely stuck. I don't want to be here, at least not in this position anymore. And it's not that you don't want to help people and you don't want to be there for them, but it's gotten to the point where people are starting to really impose on your time and your energy. So something about yourself that you should acknowledge. And it's interesting because Cancer got this same card. I can't remember if it was in the same position, but the Eight of Cups in reverse really implies that you are not so great about walking away from things that do not serve you. That you kind of stay around in situations, even if you're resentful, even if they don't necessarily make you feel good, for the sake of other people. Like with the Page of Pentacles, you want to maintain that foundation, right? You don't want to let that go. It's almost like, a child who wants to please people around them, even if the people aren't necessarily that good, even if the people are not positive role models, or, they mean to do harm. It's this very sort of innocent energy where it's like, I don't want to mess anything up. And so I think Pisces, to a certain extent, a lot of you all might be people pleasers. And so for the sake of not rocking the boat or upsetting anyone, you stay in situations, you stay around people who don't deserve your good energy, and you end up being in not so great of a place yourself. So how can you get out of this energy? We have the moon that came out. So the moon represents things that are hidden, right? It's uncovering truths. It's uncovering secrets. And so I feel like there's a need for you, Pisces, to do a little bit of soul searching. Why are you in this? Why are you so concerned about other people and making sure that they're good and, to the detriment of yourself? Why is that? How did you get to that place? And we have that clarified by the 3 of Swords and the 10 of Cups in reverse. It almost feels, Pisces, that at some point there may have been a situation where you sort of tried to distance yourself, or you tried to set boundaries. And whoever you tried to do that with was just so not accepting of it. Like, they left you really, really disappointed in them, where it was like, all I'm asking you for right now is just a little bit of support, is a little bit of understanding. I'm asking you to do your part. I'm asking you to carry your weight on this one. And whatever the weight was, the person was like, oh, this is absolutely unacceptable. I don't see why I should do that. Like, you got it. You're fine. It's almost like you were completely dismissed. And I think that this was a person who was important to you. And it was very disappointing when they did that. And I feel like in trying to avoid having that feeling come back to you again, you're just like, oh, okay, well, I'll go along to get along. That's fine. It's okay. But at the same time, deep down in your gut, you know that this is not okay. And you're not feeling, you're just not feeling like this is the right path for you. Now, a message that you need to, or an action that you can sort of take to help you get out of this space, to feel a little bit less put upon, we have the 6 of Wands. So this is a card of victory. This is about acknowledgement and celebration from other people. So I do think that right now, Pisces, there is an opportunity for you to kind of sit down with these people who are imposing on your time and your space and say, you know what, listen, I'm not doing this tit for tat type of thing, but I've done X, I've done Y, I've done Z. I need you to tap in and do A, B, and C. I need you to support me in this. I need you to meet me halfway and do your part. That's that acknowledgement. That's that validation and recognition from other people. And we also have the Hermit. And so I think that one of the other things is with the Hermit, it's someone who goes on a solo journey, right? It's really a journey of self where they spend a lot of time being introspective. They're finding their way through the darkness with, a little sliver of light to guide them along the way. So I think that you have done this sort of introspection. You have shouldered this burden yourself. You have walked this path yourself. And now it's time for other people to tap in. And I think that in order for you to do that, it's going to be time for you to use your voice. You're going to have to speak up and let people know what it is that you need from them. And then once they are able to tell you clearly and you can see whether or not they're going to follow through, you can make the decision on whether or not these people are going to be in your life going forward or if they're not. but you're going to have to start trying. Otherwise, people are going to keep piling on you, piling on you, piling on you. Now, a message that you need to hear, we have the Knight of Swords. So the Knight of Swords is the fastest moving energy in the deck. They can be a little bit reckless. They can be a little bit thoughtless. Even though this is sort of an intellectual card, they may not think things through completely. And so I feel like Spirit is saying that before you get to the point where you just start blowing up and you just start yelling at people for things that they may or may not realize, that there's a need for you to kind of slow down and really sort of use your thoughtfulness and have those conversations, have those very direct to the point, candid conversations with other people. And we have that clarified by the Emperor in reverse. So the Emperor, when it's upright, is somebody who is very much in control of their feelings. It's a very, very powerful energy. Having it in reverse, to me, in the context of this Pisces reading, says that don't lose yourself in your feelings, because what this feels like is a buildup that's been happening over time. It's like this person adds on and this person piles on and this person piles on. And you're just like, your back is about to break from everybody else's bullshit that you've been carrying. And it's easy to sort of get swept up in the moment, to sort of get lost in the emotions and your feelings. Now is not the time to do that. Now is the time to use sort of head over heart and have these direct conversations with people. You're not going to get anywhere by being overly emotional or losing control of yourself. Now, why are you deserving of getting out of this energy and having these fair and balanced relationships? We have the Four of Swords clarified by Justice. So I love this because this is a time of quiet for you. The Four of Swords is really about rest and rejuvenation, thinking things through. And you want what's equitable and what's fair in your life. I don't think that you're asking for too much from other people, but I do think that throughout this process, you have sort of taken the time to take a step back, be very thoughtful about what it is that you need and what it is that you want out of other people. You're going to have this balanced and measured conversation, and what's going to come out of it is something good for you. Now, whether or not these people stay in your life or not, entirely up to you, but you're going to come out on the other side of it having done what's best for you. And so you're going to get a fair outcome, whether or not the people that you're talking to actually listen and take you seriously, or if they don't, you can move them to the side. Either way, you're coming out on top. So that's what I got from my Pisces collective. Like and subscribe if you enjoyed, and I'll see you on the next one.